Well, she told you in writing that
But she's not telling the truth. She's not telling the truth.
Okay, I can't micromanage every little dispute you guys have. Good morning, this is the time set for case D. C. Can we have counsel make your appearance, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Richard Schonfeld, bar number 6815 from the law offices of Chesnut Schonfeld, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff, who is also present.
Okay, and Mr. You want to state your full name?
Yes. Good morning, the defendant in proper person.
All right, yeah, please go ahead and sit down. I have read everything, and I'm really ready to rule on these issues. I think the easiest one to dispose of right this minute is going to be the counter motion to change custody. Custody, I know there's an appeal pending, and I believe it covers custody, but I was not able, their website's down, not able to put my eyes on the docketing statement myself to make sure, but I believe custody is at issue in that. So I have no jurisdiction at this time to hear any claim on either party's side regarding changes to the custody. I would be inclined, if you wanted to call it a honeycut order, I'd be inclined to set a hearing on whether this legal custody should be changed. I don't believe that plaintiff has met the Romano standard on the issue of physical custody as far as a material change in circumstances since the last custody order, and that the change of custody wouldn't be in the best interest. But because of the constant problems regarding legal custody issues and making decisions and getting things like dental care accomplished, the constant problems on that, I do believe she's met her burden to have an evidentiary hearing on whether or not I would change to sole legal custody. With regard to the dentist, the record from the dentist's office notes that the HPN that is in Dad's name is medical coverage only. Sir, do you have any documentation that shows that your insurance covers dental also?
No, Your Honor. I never claimed that I had insurance that covered dental care. My point was that we have a free dentist at home and in Las Vegas now available, and plaintiff refuses to use either.
Okay, well, we've already been over multiple times on the issue of your father providing dental care.
Okay, so
Mom doesn't agree to that, so that's not going to happen.
that's fine, that's out. But why would plaintiff object to a free dentist in Las Vegas?
I don't know that she does because of the way some things have become moot because you guys got the coverage. And probably the problem you have, you can sit down, sir, both of you have private insurance. You're self-employed and have private insurance, and lots of times they don't either don't cover dental at all, or what they cover is so little that you guys are going to pay a lot out of pocket for his routine care, such as an annual exam and a filling, and that's what you guys did. Obviously, I'm going to have to figure out, and that's what we have an evidentiary hearing set, and one of the issues besides, the contempt issues itself, but also who owes who what, because both of you paid expenses, and then there's offsets, like she paid $190 for the filling, you paid the $99 for the exam, so those are going to offset, but you're going to owe her money on just looking at those two. But looking at overall, I don't know who owes who what, if anything. So on the dentist, I don't know that there needs to be any more decision on that unless he has a dental problem. And I didn't see in the exhibits, and I reviewed lots and lots of pages of exhibits, that there was any specific proposal, a name given. Maybe I missed it.
I can give a name.
Okay, and then you can give Mom the name and she can look into that and see. So right now, his annual exam has been taken care of and the current need for a filling has been taken care of. So unless he has any pain or something emergent come up, he's not gonna need another exam until this coming November?
6 months for each exam and 1 year for x-rays.
Okay, that's right, 6 months. So you guys have time to either agree on using the one he had. It seems like you guys are gonna have, because of the situation with the kinds of insurance you both have, you're gonna have a problem with out of pocket. But mom paid for that discount plan, so that may take care of it. But if you've got a proposal for a free dentist, she can look at that and whether that's really free or, you know, what part of it's free. You need to give her a full explanation so that she can consider that. But if you haven't even given her a name, she can't even consider that option.
My understanding is that she's against it no matter what.
Yeah.
She was pretty clear about
Your
that.
Honor, after I had an exam with x-rays, and I paid for the supplemental insurance, and walked out of the appointment because he did not want to pay for the filling, he told me we can get free dental care in Las Vegas, and I said, I've already had an exam. I'm not doing x-rays again. I didn't get a name, I don't know why it's free. He had an exam.
Right, but my understanding of what her communication was is that she disagreed with getting him another one just to get this filling done.
Yes.
But I didn't see that she was opposed in general to somebody who's gonna cost less money to both of you. But you gotta give her a name, and what exactly, is it going to be only the dentist services, but you guys are gonna have to pay, the out-of-pocket things like the x-rays or whatever? You gotta give her the information so she can make an educated response to you.
May we be sworn?
I don't need to do that right now. On the eye drops, I've already addressed that issue, and you were both ordered to follow the recommendations of Dr. Salim, who's the ophthalmologist you both agreed to, and is clear in the records that he said the drops need to be done daily at the 0.02 or 0.01%, not the 0.05%. This is not an issue I should have to be dealing with today. Sir, are you not going to give him the eye drops?
I wanted to reschedule with the doctor because the doctor found that he had been going around with dilated pupils all day, every day. And he's having headaches and migraines and he's throwing up on the way to school. And it's an issue.
Your
Okay, so
Honor,
my question, the one person I may need to put under oath then is you. Have you since, let me pull up that exhibit, I gotta find exactly where it is. But there's a record from the ophthalmologist. It's pretty clear in there. Mr. Schonfeld, if you could help me find it. I think it's in the exhibits file 12-9. Let me see. It's exhibit L, I think.
I believe it's exhibit L. It's exhibit L, Your Honor.
There it is. Okay. See, wait, yeah, it's exhibit L. Going to the summary. Assessment and plan. Condition is stable, diagnosis was discussed in detail, and all questions were answered. We'll continue to monitor. Discuss with parents that current glasses are correct and need to be worn. I think, I don't know what this note means, continue 30 minutes to an hour outside activity. I guess maybe he doesn't need to wear the eyeglasses for if he's going outside.
He's recommending to play outside and get some.
Some sun?
It helps with
Physical.
the
Yeah,
people
okay.
motility.
So he needs that every day. Parents advise Dr. Quinn switch atropine concentration from 0.02 to 0.5. This is causing dilation of both eyes, recommending switch back to atropine 0.02 or 0.01. Restart atropine, return in 1 year. I don't think there's any ambiguity about the ophthalmologist's recommendation on prescription. I wrote you a year prescription for the eye drops. So sir, have sent, and when was that visit? Do either one of you remember what?
It was mid-November.
November. So since that, you said you were gonna pick up the eye drop prescription, sir. Have you been giving him the eye drops at all?
Yes, I pick up the prescription and plaintiff has refused to reimburse.
Your Honor, that's.
Okay, we'll get the reimbursement issue later. I mean, you guys have reimbursements going back and forth. Like I said, I can't tell without hearing evidence, and that's why we have an evidentiary hearing, who owes who what, and it's a moving target too, because he constantly has needs. And one of you paying for one thing, another one is paying for others, so there's offsets. So we gotta figure it out, who owes who what, and get that taken care of. It's not just a black and white, you pay for everything and she is just not reimbursing you, it's not like that. You both have expenses that the other owes reimbursement, so I don't know what the net amount is. But my order is clear to follow Dr. Salim's recommendations, so those eye drops need to be put in every night. Now, if you don't do that, sir, then that may be a basis, once the appeal is taken care of, for me to consider a change in custody. But I can't do that today. With regard to extracurriculars, the court is not going to micromanage your son's extracurriculars. It's sad that if he doesn't get to do extracurriculars because the parents can't agree on something. But I'm not changing the existing order. If you both agree on something, he does it and you pay 50%. If a parent doesn't agree, but you can be done on one parent's time, then he can do that activity and that parent plays. I mean, team sports would be great for him, but like for soccer that mom threw out the idea and said he's interested in, the games are usually on the weekends. The practice is going to be probably more than once during the week. So that's something that requires cooperation to do that. But it's sad if you don't. I mean, in this case, I can see why a parenting coordinator would be helpful. And the court may be willing to appoint one because there's a lot of constant, small, I'm not gonna use the word petty, but these are important issues to you guys and your son, but they're small issues that need immediate resolution that coming to court after the earliest we can set a hearing, once you file a motion, is 35 days. So some things change, like the dental issue changed because you guys got the filling taken care of. That's one thing I will consider at the evidentiary hearing is whether you guys would benefit from a new, different parenting coordinator who could resolve issues. I would appoint them as I think it's NRCP 53 as a special master so they could make decisions on these small things. We do go with this dentist or that dentist. They can do that and they can do that in a timely fashion. On the contempt request, as I don't need to clarify the order, if the court finds one or both of you in contempt, I reserve the right to both punish, which would be criminal, or coercive, if I can draft a kind of coercive that motivates that, which would be civil. And sir, as your order showed cause has been returned to you a couple times because it doesn't match the affidavit. I know you updated that and you did an amended one, filed 1/5/2023. That's fine, that still gives her notice, but it has to match the affidavit on the allegations. You can't add new ones or reword them because it's a matter of notice and opportunity for her to defend herself on that. On the counterclaim issue, sir, you can do your own order if you want, but I'm gonna make it clear you have until January 31st, 2023 if you want to amend the counterclaim to assert those financial claims. And you need to get it served on her so she has time. I have no authority to say one way or the other if you sue her in civil court. Like I told you at the last hearing though, you might want to really consult with an experienced attorney because there's a lot of potential for that to go wrong and you to owe money if you don't do it right. And you don't really have a claim or it really is beyond the statute of limitations. But I will allow you to amend your counterclaim and you have until January 31st to get that done. If you don't do that, I'm not going to hear it.
And Your Honor, that's without prejudice to plaintiff's arguments.
Correct.
That they should be dismissed for lack of
Yes.
jurisdiction, statute of limitations, things of that nature.
Right, so he needs to get it done and get it served on you so then you can file appropriate response, whatever that is, answer it or file a motion to dismiss or whatever thing on that. But we don't know what that would include until you actually get it filed, sir. So if you're gonna go forward to doing that, I'm gonna let you do that.
In this department.
In this department, yes, you filed an answer and counterclaim in this case way back in 2019. I assume it's in 2019.
Yeah.
Because this case was filed at the end, it might be at the beginning of 2020. Which is also why it took so long. Some of the reason is the COVID delay to actually get your guys' custody trial done. Okay, the answer and counterclaim was filed on December 31st, 2019. So you want to amend that to add claims for financial issues between the two of you, you have the right to do that. And you had counsel help you prepare that at the time. So you may want, again, on filing a counterclaim, you may want to consult with experienced counsel because some of these legal issues are difficult. If you file that counterclaim and there's no legal merit to it, she's going to ask for attorney's fees on her motion to dismiss. And that's a definite possibility if there's no legal merit to it. But I don't know until I see what your claim is. So you have a drop dead deadline of January 31st. If it isn't filed by then, it's not going forward in this court. And then we have so you can do the order for that, sir, without specific clarification. And Mr. Schonfeld, you can do the order on the counterclaim if you want to do that as a honeycut and then file a motion with the Court of Appeals to have it remanded if you want to go through that process. But now that it's been assigned to the Court of Appeals, that means that it may be quickly resolved, and I don't know which is faster. So I'm not denying it and granting it because I have no jurisdiction on that. And then I don't think, you want to add the other clarifications on the extracurricular, I don't think that's a clarification. On the dentist, I don't think it's clarification. Really, it's just a denial of Dad's motion on the dentist, the eye drops, and the extracurricular. So it's a new school year, sir. That means that you signed him up for a new chess club, then that's on you if she doesn't agree. You have every right to do that. You have, which days are yours during the week? I can't remember, Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday?
Monday, Tuesday.
Okay, so if you have something on Monday or Tuesday like that, you have the right to do that. And you guys have the right, I guess, not to agree, and your son could be very limited in his extracurriculars. Or you guys could agree, and he could do something like soccer and see if he likes it. He may try it and not like it. He's only 7. You don't know what he likes. He might like baseball. He might like, there's different seasons for different sports too. But team sports, as an only child, Mom has a good point on that. That would be helpful to him to learn social skills. And even though we want to say that there is no difference, there's still a lot of difference between what society expects of men and women. The society expectations for men to be able to interact with each other and interact with women is different than women. And he would learn that from his peers on a sports team and other little boys. He'll learn on that. There's important social skills that can only be taught by doing. So yeah, I wish you would consider that, sir, but I'm not going to order you that. If you don't agree and she can't get it on her time only, then I guess he's not going to do soccer.
Well, that's the issue, is that I agreed to plaintiffs' chosen extracurriculars on my time, and if it's gonna have to be, we each do our own time and we can only pick one or the other for the kid, I don't wanna cancel his extracurricular on my time, but.
Okay, well, the gymnastics, right, that he is doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's on
That's something you
Mondays.
did agree to and it's going forward. But when the school year ended, and then you decided different than the chess clubs at school, right?
I said either one was fine. I said if she insisted on the order, meaning that it was the chess club at school, then we would do that, but I thought that there was a better one. But both happen to be on my.
Well, there's some things that you have the ability, and each of you have different strengths and abilities. You have the ability to certain things with music. For example, you're doing piano with him, right, and having him practice that. You know chess, you may decide not to do it formal and just do it, play with him and practice with him on that, and that's an okay decision too.
The issue, it becomes cost prohibitive, for me at
Exactly.
least too.
Exactly.
I just don't want to get into a situation where I'm saying my time is my time, even though maybe this is a good extracurricular for him because I need to save the money for other stuff.
Well, and that's something that all parents, even if you get for together, you would be doing, looking at budgets. What can we afford? Certain things are expensive. Maybe you guys can afford a soccer season through the youth soccer thing. That's not very expensive. The equipment can be, but you can't afford hockey. And you really like hockey, but hockey is super expensive. On the equipment and stuff for hockey. So, I mean, even if you were an intact couple, you'd have those discussions about what can we afford. What can we do time commitment? Those are all discussions that have to be, it doesn't make either one of you right or wrong, but you have to respect the other parent's decisions as to what their budget can do and what they can't do. So, I mean, right now, he's only doing gymnastics. Is that the only one you both agreed to, right?
I think there's,
He's doing it twice a week, one of my custodial days and one of his custodial days.
Okay, and that's what you guys have agreed to now, and when that season, for lack of a better word, ends, when it's time for, I know that like dance and gymnastics usually have, when their year begins and you re-sign up and that stuff, then you can reevaluate what he enjoys, what is a good expenditure of time and money. So, I mean,
I just want to say I tried to act in good faith in scheduling this on my time, and basically I got stiffed for the fees and can't,
No, that's not true.
you just have to ask the other parent beforehand if they agree. If they agree, then you guys split the cost. If they don't agree, then you get to make the sole decision about whether you can afford that or not.
I know, I just feel bad for the kid who's not gonna be able to go
Well,
to
and I think
gymnastics
that's
on
what I meant.
Mondays, because I'm getting priced out of everything.
Well, and it's the same for her, but, and then there's things that she'd like to do that's gonna take both of your cooperation. Because of the custodial schedule you have, and something like soccer or baseball, the games would be on the weekend. So, I mean, your son's 7. How long are you gonna continue to do this?
I can't do it that much longer.
Okay, well, I mean, Mom has a lot of points about that you complain that the sun is shining.
But I don't complain.
She wants to give him steak for dinner, you're gonna complain because you want him vegan.
But I
If she
don't,
want-
but I don't.
Whatever it is, you're gonna disagree.
The one thing that I complained about was that the dentist invoiced us $900 when she was supposed to find an insured dentist, and she didn't. I think that's,
But there's no dental insurance you have, so what is she supposed to do?
I've never claimed to have dental insurance.
Okay.
Mom said she has dental insurance, she's gonna find dental care for him that is insured. So now I'm getting priced out of even being able to pay for this. And meanwhile, when we arrive, she's yelling at me and the staff about subpoenaing everyone to prove that she was right about the health insurance.
Which she was, and Your Honor, she has to do that. The court knows that. Every single thing becomes a fight with the defendant. He doesn't even dispute that he needed the dental care. So what are they supposed to do if neither of them have insurance? Initially, the doctor's office says, yes, we take that insurance. They didn't have her phone number. They get there, they say, we tried to reach you, we realized we didn't have your phone number. We don't take that insurance. It's $99 for an examination. $99. Neither one of them has insurance. What are they gonna do? Not have the examination done? Examination is done. Then they have a discount plan, and the entire cost, the discount plan, I believe, was $99 that they're supposed to split, and then the filling was $190. So he brings her back to court over approximately $150, knowing that she has an attorney, that she's gonna have to incur attorney's fees responding to this. Is every single thing, Your Honor, and that's why my client has moved, and we'll have to either do honeycut or we'll have to wait until the Court of Appeals decides. But that's why she is going to continue to pursue primary physical and sole legal, because it is enough already. And I am asking for my attorney's fees in the counter motion for having to deal with this, Your Honor, because there has to be some sanction, or it is just going to continue on and on and on. And the court sat through the trial, and I think the court can reasonably conclude that the only thing that is going to dissuade the defendant from this heightened level of frivolity is if he's sanctioned in the pocketbook, because that is all he obsesses on.
Well,
And I get your point on that, and I see what, it does look like, sir, that you're bringing her back to court over petty things because you can do that for free, and she's gotta pay an attorney. It does look like that. I don't know whether that is
should I
true,
just pay the
but if I
$900?
give you, give attorney's fees, he's put himself in a situation where he's almost judgment proof. I don't know if you can actually collect them, so that's even worse in terms of bringing back. But you, sir, you're on the road where I'm gonna consider splitting up legal custody and make one of you in charge of one thing and one in charge of another thing, and you get that, or maybe she gets also legal custody if she proves that you cannot work with her. You just can't be reasonable on any issue if she proves that, and that's a matter of hearing the evidence.
Instead of me complaining, let me ask what I should do instead.
Well, you overreacted to the 409 bill, that they sent you an error, right? And they fixed
What,
it.
who says it's an error?
Well, the dentist's office did, because you don't know that, right? You know
I
that
have
because
no
you-
idea, I have no idea what we got.
Well, she told you in writing that.
But she's not telling the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's not telling the truth.
Okay, I can't micromanage every little dispute you guys have. So at least if I appoint a parenting coordinator, once I get jurisdiction back, then you're
Well,
at least
I
paying- at least you're paying that.
coordinator, and it can't be appointed over a party's objection.
Okay, but then at least you're paying for it equally. You're playing a game with her is what it looks like, and that's how she sees it.
I'm paying all of it right now. And then when
But
she
you
was,
didn't, she paid the
when
she paid the
when,
$190 and uploaded it. She paid for the fee, the $79 fee for the discount plan. She uploaded the expense. I'm gonna figure out who owes who what. But, I mean, you both should be complying with the order in looking at it. Maybe you look at it once a month and say, okay, she incurred these expenses in a month, I incurred these expenses in a month, I owe her $20 this month. And then next month, it might be she owes you $100 on things. It just depends on who spends what, the way you have custody and who takes into something, who pays the bill, you upload it. But maybe you guys just look at it once a month and say, okay, who owes who the net? Offset each other and go from there. But
What should I have done when we went to the dentist's office and she's yelling at me, our kid's there, and saying, they made a mistake, it's $99.
okay,
I paid,
all right?
right? Rather
But
than
you-
fight and cause an issue in front of our child, I paid.
Okay, but she thought that you had health, dental insurance coverage. You
She
don't.
didn't.
No,
I believe she did because she looked at whether they took HPN.
I called and they said they took HPN when we got there. They didn't have my number. They said it's only medical. What would you like to do? When he came to the office, I said, look, this is what's going on. Do you agree? Go talk to them. This is not my error. And he agreed and we had the exam. That is what happened. They sent a bill in error for $409, I believe. I don't know where he's getting $900. And I called them immediately and they said it was their error. We do not owe that. We did not have an invoice.
Right, because
Everything
it's
is
on the
paid.
record she did that it said the 99 special. You guys had a $99 special flat fee
And
for that, and that's
then I paid
fine.
for the supplemental and I paid for the filling. And now everything's paid for and yes, I'm requesting, half of that back.
How much money until I can say this is not in the child's best interest? When we have a completely free, we have multiple free options who are completely competent. She wasn't even a pediatric dentist, by the way, which is beside the
Your Honor, their website advertises that they do family dental, children dental. I don't agree to have his father be the dental provider.
No problem.
2,000 miles away,
No
we
problem.
don't even have a relationship. I didn't hear about a free dentist until after had the exam. I don't.
One at a time.
You both live here, so it's appropriate that he have a dentist here. Sir, you have every right to say, here's an option, but you gotta tell her the name of the dentist and what it means, what you understand it to mean by free, so that she can contact, because free, maybe some of the stuff's free and maybe not others, she needs to know that. Because now you've got, at least for this next year, you have the discount plan, so it may be cheaper to continue to go with Green Valley Dental. But it means, these things are issues that normal, rational parents can work out and look at, but a lot of it does look like you're overreacting to things, and you're looking for things to bring her back to court on, because so then she'll have to incur attorney's fees, and it looks like a game, when it doesn't need to be. And you need to, and I see in your Our Family Wizard messages, that you're asking her over and over again about things I've already ruled on, such as missing school days.
I requested.
I know, but you keep asking her about it. She said, you didn't request once and she said no, but you keep asking her, can we just agree on something else? No, I made an order because you guys couldn't agree. So you just need to follow the order. Stop beating your head against a wall for no reason. That's the order, because you two couldn't agree. So we have an evidentiary hearing scheduled in February on the contempt. So sir, I know my law clerk's looking at your order to show cause. We'll take care of that. You need to do the order on the counterclaim. Then you have a deadline to get an amended counterclaim regarding any financial claims you want to make against her through this case. If you want to sue her in civil court, you're welcome to do that. You could choose not to amend your counterclaim. That's fine too. You have either option. And then on the attorney's fees, I am going to grant that I need a memorandum of fees and cost with that. She did prevail on
Your Honor, I did
basically
submit,
all of the small issues that were raised in the motion.
Your Honor, I did submit a declaration in support of the request for attorney's fees. It was part of the counter motion.
Right, did it have all the billing statements though to it, for including what you want for today
It
too, right?
outlined that there was $500 an hour and that it took 5 hours preparing the opposition along with the accompanying exhibit appendix.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the issue of attorney's fees. I'm gonna put it on my chamber's calendar. Actually, I'm gonna put it on at the same time as the calendar call so that I make a decision on the amount. So that means, sir, I'm gonna give you a deadline. You can have until January 31st also to respond to the specific request for fees. Because I know in your reply, you focused on obviously the underlying issues regarding your son. So if you wanna put anything in writing about why or how much he's requesting is too much or any of that, any response you want to that, you can have till January 31st to file that.
Okay.
And then I will make a decision at the calendar call on February 16th, how much attorney's fees and costs she's gonna be awarded for this motion round.
May I ask for a finding, was there a meet and confer from plaintiff?
It should be granted on your motion.
Right.
So she didn't have to meet and confer with you on your motion. You had to meet and confer with her, and you did communicate with her about the dentist issue, about the eye drops and the extracurricular, so I'm not awarding fees because you didn't try to work them out. I'm awarding fees because she's the prevailing party on those issues.
Has plaintiff cited any relevant section 5 rule that would grant her an award of attorney's fees?
I cited EDCR 7.60 and NRS 18.010. The reality is that my client had to respond to a very frivolous motion regarding the dentist and the eye drops and incurred attorney's fees for the time that I have to put in to respond to that frivolous motion.
Yeah, and they've updated the EDCR, it's 5.219, so that would apply to the frivolousness of this motion. So I'm gonna look at the request. I look at all attorney fees requests very carefully, and look at what is warranted for you to have to pay her for her defending against the issues you shouldn't have filed a motion on. I mean, it really, with the dentist, it really wasn't worth it.
I'm sorry, but it's ridiculous.
The eye drops, I don't know.
$900. I don't, you guys just must be way richer than I am or something.
What?
I don't
What
understand.
is
All right.
$900? I don't know.
There
Please
was-
explain.
okay. All right, we need to get back from you the Dr. Holland reports that you read today. So if you give those to my marshal,
Your Honor,
and you prepare the one order on the counterclaim, you prepare the other order.
yes, Your Honor. Can I ask the marshal to personally serve the order to show cause on Mr. This is the notice of entry of order dated October 25th, 2022, and the order to show cause dated October 25th, 2022. I just would like to have personal service on the record.
The record will reflect that that's been personally served on the defendant today. Once I sign your order to show cause, Mr. I assume then you're gonna accept service of that.
I will, Your Honor.
And so you just need to get that served on Mr. Schonfeld once I sign yours. It's the same thing that you guys have competing contempt claims that we're gonna hear in February, all right?
Your Honor, will the court make the inquiry of if he is in fact going to give the eye drops to, as recommended by the ophthalmologist?
Yes, I have been, even though I can see that it's clearly harmful to her. But I don't know what to do, because that's the order.
Okay, well, you guys picked an ophthalmologist who, as you both said, knows more than an optometrist about it, goes to school for training. So I expect you to follow the expert's recommendation, especially when you two agreed on the ophthalmologist.
The ophthalmologist's recommendation was to wait 3 years, as of 2 years ago.
Well, that's not what's in the current record, sir. So I can't go backwards in time.
Okay,
The
no
current
problem.
recommendation is to do the .02 and to have him go outside to get fresh air and sunlight
Well, can we return to the ophthalmologist because his eyes
In a
are still
year?
dilated?
in 1 year.
So we're just gonna let him just throw up and have migraines for a year?
I don't know if that has anything to do with that. Have you taken him to the pediatrician?
No.
made an appointment
Not
with the
recently.
pediatrician, say he's throwing up, he's got migraines, and tell mom when the appointment is.
He would say, go to the ophthalmologist.
Your Honor, Dr. Salim has prescribed atropine drops 3 times now. I am willing to go to another pediatric ophthalmologist and have their opinion so we can put this to rest. Because I have no doubt that the eye drops are working and that he should be on them.
The reason that she's asking that is because the ophthalmologist has not said what she has claimed. And he's going to say that the eye drops are too strong and too early if we return to that
No,
ophthalmologist.
he's prescribed them
Contrary to the
3
medical
times.
records that we've already submitted to the
Okay.
court.
I've made my ruling on that. You guys are gonna have to wait until it's, he said come back in a year.
So can I go to the pediatrician and then ask for him to send us to the ophthalmologist?
There's no reason to go to
Oh
another
my
optometrist. Or, sorry, another ophthalmologist.
Okay. Can I take a video of my kid puking so I can bring it in here?
What you can do is if he's puking and has a migraine, take him to the pediatrician.
That's what I just asked.
But you haven't, you're assuming what,
May
What
I
else can
take
you
our child to the pediatrician? so
yeah,
that
you
he can
don't need
refer
to,
us?
to ask permission. Make an appointment and let mom know that's what you have, our family wizard, let her know, so she can attend if she can. If she can't, then she can get the follow-up
I've never
records.
seen this behavior of him throwing up. I haven't.
Okay, yeah, some of the throwing up and migraines could be from lots of different things, including stress. So you really need to put your son first, and you're not right on everything, and neither is she. That's why you go to somebody who's trained, like an ophthalmologist. You go to a pediatrician for his medical care. So go to the pediatrician and explain that, and keep records of how often he's doing this, how often he's complaining of migraine. And a 7-year-old has a hard time describing whether my head hurts, to whether it's a migraine or some other kind of seasonal allergies for his headache or whatever. So you need to keep record of that, because I don't think a 7-year-old could tell whether they're having floaters, whether they're having things that are actually migraines versus a regular headache. I'm not saying he's saying his head hurts, okay, then take him to the pediatrician. They can talk about all the different reasons why he might be having these headaches, and the headaches could cause, if he's having a migraine especially, could cause the throwing up.
I would
It
just
causes
note
that.
that the ophthalmologist record says specifically that mom has noticed child complaining of headaches. And
Yeah.
she just said the opposite.
That's
So,
not.
someone is lying.
I have
just
not
so you
seen
know.
one at a time.
Okay, I can't only go on the record you guys give me.
Your Honor, I have not seen this throw up. The ophthalmologist said he's getting headaches because Dr. Quinton prescribed too high a dose. Bring it back to what I prescribed. He wasn't having headaches when he was on .02.
And
He wasn't having dilated eyes when he was on .02. His
and
eyes stabilized.
he's back on that since
Yes.
November, so you haven't noticed
I
any
have
headaches?
not, and I check his eyes twice a day and I ask him how his head is every single day.
Okay. And so if you're seeing this, sir, you definitely have the right to take him to the pediatrician and follow up on this issue. But there's a lot of causes for headaches, a lot of causes for kids that throw up, whether they're eating something they don't like, they overexert themselves, lots of things can cause a kid to throw up.
I understand.
So please follow up with the people who know what they're doing. I'm not a pediatrician, I'm not an ophthalmologist. That's why you guys go to somebody who's trained to do these things, because neither of you are. Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.